can join up as well, and we'll give you all the details. But my Made in Suffolk today, in honour, is actually Remade in Suffolk. Fits really well with the Rubbish Dart campaign. Matt Rump runs CycleRecycle from his shop in Kessingland. Last year he won the Startup Business of the Year at the Lowestoft and Waveney Chamber of Trade Award. Afternoon to you, Matt.
Good afternoon.
This is very exciting, very appropriate, and it was landfill, seeing bikes in landfill, I think sort of triggered it all, wasn't it?
Yeah, I basically started my business about 3.5 years ago, working from home, and I had some bicycles in my back garden, and I needed to find somewhere to store them. So I decided to take them to bits because it would be easier to store them, and I was looking at the parts and I thought, I'm sure somebody can make use of these. So I started on a well-known auction site, started selling the parts, and that went really well. So then I started asking on the Free Cycle network if anyone had any bikes that they didn't want anymore, whether I could have them, and it's grown from there really.
It is amazing, and now you've got a shop, you've got a successful business, you're making money.
Yes, absolutely. We're coming up to our 2-year anniversary of being in the shop, and things can be better really. It just seems that it's growing and growing, sometimes faster than I can keep up with.
It's funny, isn't it? And I gather over 500 bikes saved from landfill.
Yeah, at least I would say. One of the real amazing things is the amount of donations we get to the shop, because a lot of people don't want their bikes to go into landfill. They want somebody else to be able to use them, and sometimes you can make one bike out of two, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
And we can keep people on the road, we can keep people going to work or taking the kids to school, and it's a low-cost way of keeping people mobile.
Well, not everyone wants to spend a fortune on a bike, do they? A, they often get nicked, and B, we haven't got the money to spare, and you just want somebody that's good at doing what it's supposed to do.
Absolutely. Well, when I sell a bike, every single bike that goes out of the shop comes with a full 42-point service, which means that's probably it does exceed the British safety standards, which means A, it's going to be reliable, B, it's low cost, and C, people can keep mobile, which is what I think people want these days.
It's fantastic. I mean, the whole thing behind it as well. I mean, it's such a waste to chuck a bike with all that work, all that metal into landfill, isn't it?
Well, I think as well that when you look at a bicycle, there's so many different materials in a bicycle. You've got rubber, you've got plastics, you've got alloys, you've got steels. So from a recycling point of view, the big recycling centres, they don't really want to take them on because it's so labour intensive splitting those into the different materials. Whereas what I do, I have a policy here whereby if a bike comes in that's been donated, we either have it as one that we can restore, or one that goes into just parts. I've not had a bicycle yet that I can't at least salvage something off. And then, because I'm splitting it down, anything that can't be used gets weighed in at the metal recycling place, so that brings a little bit of income into the shop, but not an awful lot. But more importantly, I had a customer this morning that came in who wanted to buy a bicycle tyre. Now, a new one was going to cost in excess of like £20, whereas I had a used one. It was perfectly good, but instead it cost the customer £5. And from a point of view of profitability, I probably make more money selling a used tyre than I do a new one.
Do you know, for months we've had a bike wheel sitting in our garden, and I took it to landfill. I think it was recycled anyway in the metal bin.
Yeah.
But I could have given it to you.
Yeah,
I feel bad now.
Absolutely. If anyone's got any bicycles, by all means, bring them to me, because I can normally either give them the part or sell the parts to somebody else who then can stay on the road, or alternatively we can sometimes restore bicycles. That just means that somebody's got a mode of transport.
And all your bikes must be unique.
Yeah, yeah. I can never tell what...
Designer bike.
Yeah, absolutely. I can never tell what's going to be in the shop at any one time, but we have like a list on the wall, so if anyone's after anything specific, as soon as somebody comes in, we give them a call, and then they can come and have a look and decide whether they want to go for it or not.
It's very exciting. I think it's so clever, and out of just an idea. And I mean, were you working before, or has this been a good way?
I used to be a professional cyclist, and then I ran a business whereby I was teaching and taking people on guided tours. But unfortunately, the cost of insurance put an end to that. And then sort of this idea struck me really, so we kind of went with it.
So it's a huge solution for you, but it's making you money, it's become a business, it's doing good things environmentally. It's brilliant, it's win-win, isn't it?
Yeah, we've got big plans for the future. Winning the award was obviously just amazing for us. Since then we've been in like the local papers, the national papers, the chat with Jeremy Vine on Radio 2 about a week ago, and it's just it's just absolutely took off. We're looking to franchise it in the next 18 months, so hopefully there'll be a CycleRecycle in every town. That's the plan.
Which is the solution, isn't it? Because Kessingland, even for me in Ipswich, is quite a long way. But if you've got one within a few miles, that's great, isn't it?
I quite like the idea of customers being able to walk into a shop, for instance, in Ipswich, searching for something, and if it's not in the Ipswich branch, then it might be in the Kessingland branch or that sort of thing. And just the idea of keeping stuff at landfill. We have 3 really important rules that govern everything we do. The first is that we promote cycling. The second is we try and save our customers money, and the third is we keep bikes out of landfill. And everything we do is basically has to conform to those 3 things.
I think it's a brilliant story. I think we're going to have to get you in on the sofa to have a longer chat about what you're doing and what your plans for the future are, which would be brilliant. So we'll do that. In the meantime, the website.
Yeah, it's www.CycleRecycleUK.com.
Okay, easy to find. And then so you can be buying new bikes, you can be finding bits for your bikes, getting your bikes just serviced. You do the lot, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, we like to offer our customers choice. So we are dealers for Raleigh, Dawes, Claude Butler and all the big names, and we can get parts from the big manufacturers and stuff if customers need that. But if people are on a budget, then they should definitely give us a look, because we've got buckets of parts here that we sell for a fraction of the cost that the new ones have cost, and they're all fully serviced and ready to go.
Yeah, I noticed there was a news story the other day suggesting they're trying to get lots more women out on bikes as well. Is it becoming more popular?
Yeah, definitely. I think last year with the Olympics and Bradley Wiggins winning the Tour de France and Sports Personality of the Year, it certainly helped. I think, without being too controversial, I think the government needs to sort out the infrastructure with regards to making it safe to go on the road, because today cycle paths seem to be a sort of almost like the third-class citizens of cyclists, and we're the last people to be thought of, whereas in Holland it's the other way round. And I think in order to encourage people to cycle, I think they need to be able to do it and know that they're safe doing it. So I think that's the important thing.
As someone who's a fair weather cyclist, but I do get mine in the summer to come into work, and it just makes me so cross. Nobody wants you. The pedestrians don't want you. The motorists don't want you, and you're sort of left in between the two.
Absolutely. I mean, what makes me laugh is the fact that the cyclists are given the worst part of the road and the most dangerous part of the road. And my only advice at the moment for anyone who's thinking of taking up cycling is, for goodness sake, just put a cycle helmet on and make sure that you protect the most important part of your body.
And lights.
Absolutely. Make sure you can be seen. Make sure when I used to teach cycling proficiency, I used to tell people that the most important thing you can do is try and make eye contact with the oncoming traffic or the traffic around you, so they can see you and you know they've seen you, because then you know you're not going to have an accident. That would be my advice.
We'll get you in.
That's great.
But congratulations, you're obviously really passionate, and I think it's brilliant, so well done.
Thank you. Could I just quickly say thank you to my partner, Jack, who has been through me through thick and thin with this business, and I just want to say thanks ever so much to her.
Okay, there you go, Jay. You can bring her out on the sofa as well if you like.
That sounds good.
Speak to you soon.
Cheers then, thank you. Bye.
Bye. There you go. That's Mike talking about his business. It's at CycleRecycleUK.com. CycleRecycleUK.com. Shop in Kessingland as well.